abarebi ba Right TV abarebi ba Shield of Faith nka program kabutosha nimbasyaho program yeji nyamurungi ahita tutayasiza abantu bakatweshashanura bakatugambira amagara gabo ninkira gukora disclaimer mu kutandika ngo mu program yeji tutayasiza mu abantu batajundwe qualification no kujuna and nkabutosha irizo nyino mugenyi konkanta kambanjurire abantu bengi tfakwetegereza hawenki baruho they don't understand their purpose in life amhandi cyo magagira ngo to understand purpose the purpose you must have you must live a purposeful life amagara gasira abandi amagara agar contagious amagara turra amagara and in this sense ati tumanyisa amagara koreka abandi umuhanda ogurkuzomu iguru okutatureryo okutaberyo no muntu kugira ngo orieryo no rireryo no gendereryo no gambereryo so mbere rizoba nahirwa nataya isumugenyi unaza kwakira mudakikanje akatwe yanjurira kandi ukuza kutushobora enshonga nkezo nezindi zirukiraho yana tugambira amagarage umugenyi nataya iserizoba no shemwe no murisa wa St John Church of Uganda aho muri kamo cya Kampala ninga munkireze mwakira igambira amazina je konka ni Reverend Captain Gideon muhima but ni kundo kumha chance kugira ngo atwegambire je then standikiraho Reverend.
Thank you nawe munonga
ngamasimu
asimu munonga nawe kunyakira hano nashemwe munonga kuba
ngamasimu
asimu munonga
oba hatiwe nkute mu category ki kuba you sound you look to be a planned kid. Is it true?
Well, we all are. We're all planned kids. I think that for as long as God has us in mind, we are planned. We are planned. We might not see the plan for most people, and there are many who are born in unplanned circumstances by the majority. But I believe strongly, and it is the thing that I most resoundingly say, ngutwena to be planned if we believe.
But if you would put it in the real context in which it is said,
in this well, in this real context, then I think yes, I am privileged to have been a planned kid. I was born to Bishop Edward Muhima and Mama Vasta, but then they were not bishop. He was working as a tutor at Bishop Taka Theological College.
Wow.
Akaya has a PhD.
Wow.
Yashwera, Mama Vasta, and then Banzai. I was the firstborn. I'm the firstborn.
Huge.
I'm the firstborn. Yes.
I thought you were like the last one.
No, I am the Akashwera late at 38. When Kuya has a PhD, Yargom exile. Usually Ashomesa UCU. Then Yagoya Yashwera at 38. Okay. So that's how I come in 85, August 85. Karabum bizubinji na family ye. He lost his brother, so he had to take care of his children, settle them before he could get married. So noko nija.
Then he had an experience here, exile.
Yes, her whole experience exile, her whole experience. Kan kuyagarukire tiya shanga abishabya na amanya. Bona bakaba.
Of course, it was a change story.
It was a change story. Then his brother dies. On his return, akainavana mnana, and then he had to make sure that they get settled before he could make a decision to get married. So Kuya was settling, and then there was a mutual friend of theirs, Barukumweta Reverend Anne Karwije.
I know Reverend.
We have a connecting. Yes.
With your mother?
With my mother, yes. She was working as a nurse in Mulago, and he had just returned, and so they met. He had akana bura, wakani bamweta kubura. So yeah, bura Mulago, St. Luke's, I think, and who my mother saw him. Mushisha tuwa burijo. Yahura ndi kuchigamba. Tuwa burijo kugama words like exegesis.
Yes.
So yakunda, my mom is a second generation revival. Her parents came from Gahini. Barukubura injiri. So then he became a church teacher.
Okay.
Her father. They settled in Yabshozi, Chinoni. Okay. And so she was familiar with the things of Christ. She gave her life to Christ early. So hearing the message of the gospel was nothing new, but at that stage, Akar moving into BNG, reverends that were not really faithful, but she only knew it from her.
We are going to get there.
From her parents.
Now you being a kid,
yeah.
That real feel.
Yeah. So kuya hurire, my dad preached. This is a good man to get to know. My dad had already known, and so he bachengan, and they had a good conversation. He was going back to the States to finish his PhD. Then they corresponded. Kuya Garuchire, after he had done all the things, even after his brother dying and whatnot, eventually, August 84 is when they got married. August 85.
Wow, so interesting.
Yes.
Now let's get the story rolling from there. Yes. Now, Hati Gideoni, firstborn, Ombanto are so special at you. Ntungira umugisha gukura, I mean Bishop Edward now, even in his retirement now. And no worry more retirement, Hati kura ekigambo cye nk'omuntu watestingire ninga showa yoreirwe. I want to believe that Bishop who is this Bishop? Festo. Bishop Festo was one of his mentors.
Yes.
Indeed, you don't doubt. You can easily connect to our Bishop Festo So many we okuzarwa mukanke ejo ya Vasta na Edward wakura rumana ki?
Well, nkiri muto munonga nkanyine nk'emyaka nk'itano. Yes, I was about 5. Nkatandika kuhurikiza ebishuba uruku rwa Satani. I believe that. I believe that I was hearing lies from Satan at a very early age. Lies telling me ngutindi worthy to be in the family. Nkanta kubichenga je. And then harhuwa bilinaturanitwe, and I was sexually molested.
Oh dear.
Akarium kana tuyamba mumaka. Yeah.
Umkazi.
Shija.
Sorry.
So when nkanta kubichenga je, that was the period of AIDS and everyone. So now something is wrong here. Now my parents. Ngumshija yona nankwata kubi. Nankwata ntakuchenga je. I had never seen my father that furious with some other man. And amuvinga konkebya nsegeire mu nebishuba biri nguyu. There's something wrong with you. You're not supposed to be in this family. has it was compounded by whenever nkabana you need to rebuke them nga utachikora echo utakora kiri nyobi nkwata kubi. They were confirming ngo I'm not supposed to be.
So mbena abazere bakubaye bageza nkuko abazere bahana abana hati we bitwara personally being kora kubi and confirming that I'm not supposed to be, I'm not worthy of being in this family. So at the age of 6 Ghana chile 6 naenda kwita emyaka mukaga ndikushira obutwa mwembe. Rat poison is what I only knew that was most effective in killing, because nkandi ebemba baze kwitwa obutwa. Then konke ekirungi baka babika obutwa hare we are free ya bina bintakwika keep out of reach for children. Maybe you would have that.
Yes. I would kunoja nkabukwata buti nkaniza kumera kurungi without thinking. So kuna abirebe najangu when I grow up ninza kubikora. So narinda good enough umukwezi kwa mukaga 1992. I think we look at the dates exactly kunkanye nijuka n'umukwezi kwa mukaga twagenda Ruzira. Nomanya my father was an evangelist akana akora na AEE.
Yes.
In akatandika akora na AEE in 89.
AEE
African Evangelistic Enterprise. Yatandikirwe Bishop Festo.
Yes.
Then kuya so bakandi bamusendinga omumakanisa kuza kuburira njiri. So bamweta Ruzira, St. Augustine Ruzira, nagenda nawe. Twagendana nashitamo misho ng'umujinyi nk'umwana w'umuburizi. Natandika nyijuka, that was the first time ndikuhurikiza samoni. Tugenda kunkanta I had never really paid attention, because that was the first time I paid attention to the sermon.
And specifically from your father.
Alikuburira Azakayo. I'd never heard that story. Konka katebeza je munonga. Alikutamwa injiri. Haze cyankwatira munonga. The thing that touched me the most is Zacchaeus. Kuna hurira kugamba Zacchaeus na hurira aringanye. Umuntu batakukunda hona. Abantu betu bakumukunda, alukora tubakumukunda.
Our history,
exactly. So na kampugize. Ya gitebeza ya kuyashya hari Yesu akurabaho. Amureba umuti
atembera.
Amweta na manyi. Yesu na manyi.
He can even
call him by his name. Jesus knows me. I could quickly, I think that was the gift God had given me. I could quickly understand the text. And I could relate it to me, apply it to me. Yesu na manya Zakayo, that means he knows me. Agumizama kumutebeza, then ahucha nkwatira munonga is when Zacchaeus suddenly stood up and said, Nayetisa. Those that I stole from, I am returning fourfold.
Wow. Wow.
And Yesu can change a man like that. And then Jesus stands up and says, today, salvation has come into
the house.
Ciao. So for me, I was like, now,
wow.
What next?
Wow.
I was at, how many of you want to be like Zacchaeus? You want to invite Jesus into your home.
So when he said that, you responded immediately?
I responded immediately. Neimuka, I was at the altar.
hati oyihireho iki kibi cyo kwenda kuyita kuyiho munsi numagara cyaganda gwabere utwiremo. What kind of other life were you living? Did you drink? Did you?
I was 6. I mean, when I first gave my life to Christ, I was 6, so there was no drink. It was just. But after I gave my life to Jesus, my purpose for killing myself changed. It didn't change that I wanted to kill myself. I still was hearing the lies. Ntachenda kuba burden. I had my parents, and as I grew, I went through school, ndukugwa, and I was comparing myself to all these other.
You thought you were a dull student.
Yes, I was a dull student. I was comparing myself to my parents' friends' children who were doing so much better in school. You want to quit and talk? Exactly. I think end your life. At least you will go to heaven this time. At least you will end your suffering and you will be with Jesus. My dreams began to be about Jesus coming and taking me.
Taking you early.
Yes. And so, when I started watching some movies, maybe Chinese, Japanese, I knew that knives can kill. So now I end up to stab myself. End your life. Kunka echanyambe na hura a different voice. And I suspect it was because of the many sermons I was hearing over time, hearing God's voice really.
Yes.
Omunjiri omhure chigambo.
I want to believe that you also had an opportunity of Omukayani. Didn't your parents have devotions?
We had devotions. There were every day. There was actually a period in our lives when we stopped going to church and started having church at home.
Wow.
Because he was a non-stipendiary. If we are going to be bothered with traffic and bothered with parking, why don't I start service at home?
Wow.
Nhona manyire hymns so nyankoro ruchiga kushaba mu nyankoro ruchiga kweza obujulizo mu nyankoro ruchiga nhona bimanyire ndikumuhurikiza, and he would open the Bible and share, and then allow us to also share what we have learned from the Bible. Nhona manyiro kweteisa kandi kati bakaba chikora intentionally kweteisa. We would observe when they have a misunderstanding between the two. Omeshogate during the
bakaba tategereza kweteisa zo mushenga.
Apana.
Aha olutayanyi.
Atonsasire na kugamba kubi.
Atonsasire tuvasi tonsasire. Wow.
Tubireba. It felt good to see these things. Kungati tukata kumanya what it took for a man like Bishop Muhima, who had grown up in a pagan home. Bari kumugambira ngo abashija tubete isaba kazibo. Tubarara hatariomesho ngumukazi nabana
exactly. Sasa.
Now I see it.
Wow.
It really transformed me. So nibyo nabirendemo ndukukora. Tukataine byinji konkreti ebyo nibyo ndikwiruka. It stood out every Sunday, every fellowship we had, every night. UEB etwemere amashanyarazi akaye ndongoye tweshongora hymns so byone ibyo ndi kubireba barukweteyisizangana barukukundana mbireba konka ijuka ndukurikiza cyaci chachiraka chikunja you don't deserve to be in this kind of environment.
And you should live.
You should, yeah. Nanyi nkatandika kwetesa, but I would feel so much guilt. I was still growing in my understanding of salvation. That
so before we continue, is that so? Don't you think that voice is the one that truly affected your education journey?
Yeah, that and many other things. I was a bit sickly, and so my allergies would affect my concentration in class. So then I would put myself on pressure to understand things byanga.
Ekinaga wankuburiza nti aren't you a planned kid? Because I want to say uzari bo murembo gwa Museveni ekya kabiri uzirwa abantu bashomere. This takes me to ask you where you were born and where did you go to school in your years?
Hey. So I was born in Mulago, but we were living in Mukono because he was a kid. I was born in Mulago, and I really was a planned kid. The truth is that my mom prayed to God that her first year anniversary in marriage will be her child. And so 18th August they got married, 1984. 18th August 1985 I was born. Yeah, I was born. And
so you were born in Mulago?
I was born in Mulago. We lived in Mukono.
Yes.
He was tutoring. Yes. And then when he became the team leader of AEE, we were living in Chitinta.
Yes.
Where I started going to school. I went to Safari Kindergarten, then went to Nakasero Primary School for 4 years, and then eventually finished my P7 in Green Hill Academy.
Now
the Lord had provided.
Okay.
Then I went to Budo for 6 years.
Yes.
And it was in those periods of time when I was comparing myself with those kids, comparing myself with, I was like, to say that is a good child meant that one works hard, studies hard, does excellently. So because I was not doing excellently well, it meant that I wasn't working hard, that I was being stubborn and whatnot. So those were the things that were running in my head, saying I don't deserve to be in this family. The final time, when I surrendered completely to God, I was in S2 in Budo. When I had failed, and I went on top of a building. Natemba chizimbe ndachokugwa, because now I knew this is it. So just as I was going to take the step, akakache kagaruka. Atachi. What if you survive? You break all your bones, but you are alive. Somewhere deep in there again, because of the understanding of who God was over the time. Then I surrendered. That year, 2000, was when everything shifted. From that point on, I have never ever felt the need to kill myself. Now, there is a purpose why God wants me to be alive. I am going to struggle through life, but He has a reason. Okay, let me wait.
You understood your purpose.
I understood there was a purpose. Think about what purpose it was.
Yes, but you understood.
I understood there was a purpose. A year later, one of my best friends, called Wejuli Peter, had a dream. I had become a warden at the chapel in the school. And he had a dream that I was ushering in. So there was a way, if you were a service leader, you would walk in with the preacher. So I was walking in with my father. As this was in S3.
Okay.
I had a year later. I was walking in his dream. This is his dream. Yes. I was walking in with my father, he was the one supposed to preach. So I come, we both sit on our seats, and then I invite my father to preach. When he comes to the front, he ushers me to come. So I come to the front and I preach. This is his dream. I can never forget that dream, because when he told me that dream, it confirmed everything about purpose for me in S3. So he says that as I was preaching, my face changed to his. And then he woke up. I was in S3. That stayed in me, because up to that point in time, remember, I had just come from, I'm no longer going to kill myself, there must be a purpose in life.
Yes.
Then that dream happens. And it settled in my heart. This is where God wants me to be. Because I found joy in reading God's word. I found joy in being in fellowship. I found satisfaction in trusting God, that he has things. It was my sanctuary. Yes. When the world was failing me, that's where I would find, and I would wonder, why am I not finding sanctuary in academics or in sports or in all these things? How is it that I find rest here? And the answer to those questions would only come 10 years later. Because I, again, began to...
What had you become 10 years later?
10 years later, I was pursuing, I had pursued a bachelor's in industrial art and design. I was trying to be an advertising designer, graphic artist. Things were just not clicking. It didn't seem to me like this is what I was supposed to be doing. It felt like I was striving. And yet, my father was bishop. I should be able to have all the connections in the world. Whether to go for further studies, whether to work in government, whether he had the connections. Why isn't this happening? Why is it happening for all my friends? And all my friends got jobs, all my friends started getting married, all my friends said, and yet I wasn't. And the reason was really I was looking for my purpose in my work, the thing I chose. I had also started running away from wanting to be in church work because I didn't want people to compare me to my father.
Why?
Because
he was poor?
He was not poor. Actually, if anything, it was precisely because of his reputation that I didn't want to be compared to him, because it was too much pressure.
You thought you...
I thought there was no way I was going to be at that standard. Why? And so if I become a reverend, people will say you're just doing that because of your father.
He had set a standard.
Those shoes are too big to fit. So I resisted. In fact, I put it out of my mind. This is the path I'm going to take. If I ever become a priest, it will be later. And I agreed with God. If you want me to be one, it will have to be you. Clearly telling me, this is the path I want you to go. And so I began to look for my path, look for all these things, and chase after the money, chase after the job, chase after... And everything, against no shame, it was a reality for me very early. For 5 years, after campus, for 5 years, I was chasing after this thing, and it just didn't seem like it was the thing that God wanted me to hold on to. Until I surrendered to him and said, Lord, I don't know. Take over.
And you believe that's when you define your purpose now?
Yes.
Wow. We got to in the round aho kuba ninyenda munonga ngo utushoborera bakutureba abantu bengi bari umusomo reverend konkata bakumanya ikirahanga bahangiringa cyabaterera umunsi nakunda kwashoborera abamuheru babantu bari umunsi batekateka n'ubusinge baza kutunga bakubwiha umukariya baza kubwihugirira mu motoka mpango zampe ngo ni obusinge buryo mu living that luxurious and lavish lifestyle. So iwo nojya ngo ubusinge uko tuyoburi
hatuyoburi
gatugara cyo muceka cyane aniterasi abashemo bakutureba rizoba nahirwa nataya isa omwana w'umwahure konko kuba specific omwana bishop and of all people Bishop Edward Muhima bakumenya Bishop Muhima nengiriye abantu aba testingire hwangiriye East African Revival batahabine ikibine kiri unique niyo kintu kutekateka ngo itwabo murembo ubu now the third generation have not tested. So ubu umgenyo nataye izoba Reverend Gideon n'umwana wa Pastor Edward Muhima abantu barahanga munonga bakorera hanga munonga for such a long time kandi muri yatugambira amagarage reka tufumura tugakimu tuceka cya kabiri atumanyise kwizere kumanya iki mutayisise humunsi kumanya purpose yawe kumanya who he is now kandi atugambire atwompere inyo no kwakureba ibintu hati yo magaraga na kariya yagira imhati program Shield of Faith katugari kimuceka cya